Happy Monday, everyone. So today I want to talk about Christ consciousness. Um, I was really prompted to do this video because of some comments that came on one of my videos, why I like witches who eat children. So I might link that below. I may not. I may forget. The reason why is because someone who was commenting, I can tell they didn't know where I was coming from in general, and that's okay. And I guess I'll tell you this now. When I speak about anything, I always come from an occult-like perspective. I'll just say an occult perspective. And I also like to leave good and bad and all of those kind of polarities out of my discussion. That's the way I decide to see everything that's going on. So that in itself is going to change the way I'm speaking about things. That in itself is going to change the way I present certain things. So when I make any video on any kind of spiritual, metaphysical, whatever topic, you have to understand that's where I'm actually coming from. I don't come from a religious background at all. That's not my preface at all. I come from a different perspective, and I'm always looking to strip down everything and take everything away and see what's left. So here I am talking about Christ consciousness. Christ consciousness. And this person, they told me about something about achieving Christ consciousness, and when you have Christ consciousness, you're perfected, and we have to have high morals. And I asked this person, have you experienced Christ consciousness? At first, they said no, and then later they said they had a glimpse. And to me, having a glimpse of something is not actually experiencing the thing. That's just like saying, I had a sip of coffee. I did not have a full coffee, so therefore I don't know how coffee really works in my body. All I had was a sip. I don't know the full experience of coffee. Because there's a big difference. A sip of coffee might tell you what coffee tastes like. It might give you even a slice of buzz. For me, a full cup of coffee will have me on the toilet. So there's two separate experiences happening, right? So that's why this person just said they had a glimpse. And so this is the thing. What is Christ consciousness? So I'm just going to break things down from a different perspective. Okay? First off, Christ consciousness is a human made-up term. Okay? That's a made-up term trying to describe a state of being. Christ, take away this association with humanity and think about what it actually means. And people have different meanings for it, but I like to look at the root of the word and understand that it actually means crowned. Crowned. Now, for some of us, we might associate that crowned with light, right? Or you might associate that with the crown chakra, the chakra that sits up here, which is also supposed to be connected to knowledge, okay? Consciousness essentially means knowledge. Conscious, these words are of Latin origin. It's not that deep. It means knowledge, okay? So crown knowledge you get from the crown. Crown chakra, knowledge you get from your crown chakra. So to say that you've achieved Christ consciousness really isn't that big of a deal. We get knowledge from our crown all the time. When we go into meditation, when we sit on the toilet, when we're trying to figure out what to do next, there is knowledge that comes through us all the time. And this isn't a special person. This isn't someone who's meditated for hours. This can be an everyday Joe who just likes to mow his lawn every week at a certain time. That's when they might get their best ideas. Okay, because they're in a certain state of repetitive motion and they're letting go of their thoughts and things are coming in. They are getting knowledge from their crown, okay? And even if you take away the idea of a chakra, okay, they exist energetically, but let's say they don't, because that's always fun. Just take that away. And let's just say it's your brain. Okay, let's just say it's your brain, and the crown really just means your hair, and it's just a reference to the knowledge happening in your brain. Let's just say that's all it means. All it means is that you are receiving knowledge in some way, shape, or form. All right? People like to think of it as more, but the symbol of Christ only spoke about you thinking from a different perspective, a more universal perspective, a wide perspective. For example, if I'm thinking from my vagina, I'm probably more thinking about how I'm going to mate, the best mating prospect, and also who's going to pleasure me the most and how could I get the most pleasure. If I'm thinking from my womb, okay, and I'm going up to the creative process, right? Now I'm going to be even more specific about who I want to mate with, what I want to create, and how I want to create it. If I'm thinking from my gut, I'm thinking about what's going to satisfy me, right? What's going to make me feel good? Where am I driven? So we're thinking about all the different areas you can create from in respect to this human existence. If I'm thinking from my heart, I'm thinking about love. I'm thinking about passion. I'm thinking about what's going to make me feel the most loved, or how will I spread this love out. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about a consistent pace of spreading joy and love, right? Because your heart is also about that constant beat. And then your lungs, which are close to your heart, is this boom, 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 this constant flow. All right. Now, I don't think I need to go on. So now let's go up. Even if I said throat, I could go through all the chakras. But now when we're talking about here, we're thinking about a larger picture, something more grander, something that's more important than what my vagina wants, something that's more important than just what satisfies me. It goes beyond that. Now I'm looking at the fuller picture, the way everything starts to come together. That's the crown. That's crowned consciousness, crowned knowing. Is there anything specific that I have to do to have that knowing? Not really. Do I have to be a good person? No. Do I have to be a bad person? No. There's nothing you have to do. All you have to do is pretty much focus on that perspective. It's just shifting your perspective to see the larger picture. Now, I know there's going to be plenty of people who disagree with me and they want to be something more, and that's fine. But my thing is, why don't you start from a basic perspective, and if it does become something more, then great. But you have to start somewhere. So why don't you explore Christ consciousness, getting away from all the mysticism and all the special stuff, and just see it as a larger picture. Just see it like that, and then tell me where you get. Have I experienced Christ consciousness? All the time. I experience Christ consciousness when I sit on the toilet on a regular basis. And I want to emphasize that it's on the toilet, sometimes in the shower, when I'm driving, but on the toilet. It just seems to just flow right in like beams of light. Oh, I'm messing with you. I'm joking, but at the same time, I'm serious. Okay. Happy Monday. Expand your point of view. Get out of this religious stuff and thinking good and bad and all the ways that you need to be. And just strip everything down and then see what you have left. Don't be afraid to do that. You're always growing. You're always learning. How do you think you learn if you're always saying, I know this, that, this, and this? No, take it all away. Assume you know nothing and then see what you get. All right.